What's up guys, MB Diesel Freak back here with another video, first one in a while. This one's going to be short and sweet. Number one, because what I'm doing here is not necessarily a replace tutorial, but instead a diagnostic tutorial. And the second reason why is our new puppy destroyed my entire camera setup. He grabbed a hold of it when one of us wasn't looking, and the camera itself is fine. Got a few chew holes in it, but it still works. But the camera case and the tripod equipment and everything that attached to it chewed apart. So I got to get a new one. In the meantime, I'm filming from my cell phone, but what we're going to be focusing on today is this forward arm right here. This is called the thrust arm on the front of the suspension. There's one on the front on the left side and on the right side as well. Now when these wear out, there's two different places that they can wear out. You have this front ball joint here. This ball joint is not replaceable. It has to be replaced entirely with the rest of the thrust arm. Now on the other end of the thrust arm here, you have a rubber bushing in here. Now this rubber bushing can crack and wear out, not so much with mileage, but instead with age. Once the car reaches about 10, 15 years old, or if it lives on a rough road and is exposed to extreme stress, that can crack and break. And you'll notice when these go bad, that when you're driving down a road and you hit a pothole, it feels excessively rough, like you're hitting a wall or something. And that's because these bushings in here, these rubber bushings, are no longer taking the brunt of the impact of whatever you're hitting. So what I would recommend is whether this bushing goes bad or whether this ball joint goes bad, I would recommend replacing the entire thrust arm. There's a few different manufacturers out there. Of course, I would recommend going with OEM, but these are a little bit pricey. They're around 120, 150 bucks a piece for these arms. You can find aftermarket manufacturers that'll make them. You can get them. I've actually seen them for around, 30, 40 bucks a piece. But as to quality, I have no idea since the majority of them are made in China. But even OEM manufacturers are making stuff in China nowadays, so who knows? As far as diagnostics go here, there's really only a couple things to check. Like I said, the ball joint and then the upper bushing up here. We'll start down with the ball joint. Now this ball joint, you might be able to test by using channel locks, putting channel locks here and then squeezing, and that will show you if there's any actual play in the ball joint or not. But unfortunately, for me, that didn't show anything. What actually showed me what's happening on my car is I've got, when the suspension travels up and down, like when going at a slow speed, I get this nasty creaking, squeaking noise that these W211s are notorious for, and it's always coming from this ball joint here. If you're getting kind of a cracking or a smacking noise when turning hard in one direction, it's usually this lower control arm ball joint here, which is what connects, it's basically what all the way to the car on this corner sits on, is that ball joint. This thrust arm is only for forward and backward lateral forces. So what I did to check mine for the squeakiness is if you grab a hold of this part of the arm right here and you push up and down, it torques the arm kind of side to side, puts some side to side pressure on the ball joint. You can't actually see what I'm doing since it's such minute movements, but I can feel the creakiness in that ball joint. I can feel it, and that's what's actually creating the noise in the suspension. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to replace both this one and the other side. I can't feel the same thing happening on this side, but I know it's happening because I can hear it in the car when I'm driving. So I'm going to go ahead in the future, whenever the parts come in for this, and God knows how long that's going to take with this whole COVID-19 thing going on. But when I get those in, I'm going to go ahead and swap them out on camera and show you guys the easiest way to get it done. So that's going to be it for this video. Sorry for things going slowly lately. I mean, I haven't done anything to this car since when I changed this drive shaft back here. It's been, other than the squeakiness on the front end, this car has been completely flawless since about December. So this car is my daily driver. But that's going to be it for today, guys. I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next video. Thanks.